She's here. That's what you're telling me?
Yeah,
No,
she's
I don't
here.
see her. I see myself.
She doesn't have her video on yet.
Oh, she doesn't have her
There she
video
is.
on. There she is. Let me pull up.
Uh,
Let me pull up my notes.
Oh my god, I love it.
Hi.
Look at that. Look at her background looks literally just like my beer.
Dude, that beard looks awesome.
Right? I got that specifically for you. Well, I'll be honest. I got it for the Super Bowl. I just liked how it looked. It looked like almost like Saved by the Bell, like 90s.
I love it.
And I got it, and I didn't drink it. And then when I found out you were on in your colors and this fits you perfectly, I wore the shirt for you because it matches your color scheme.
It's beautiful. I love everything.
So, and we've talked about on this show how I want to start giving like these really cool intros, like, oh, here comes Delilah. Here comes Delilah Doom, sabotage. I have none of these notes in front of me. I want to say sabotage's first champion, all this other blah, blah, blah stuff, and give you a great intro, and then I failed. I failed completely.
The shirt and the beer is enough. We're good.
Yeah. But we like to do things live, so we pride on being live. How are you tonight? Thanks for coming by.
I'm wonderful. Thank you. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm on like this weird gamer headphone set.
Nope, you sound phenomenal. Vanessa, can you hear her well?
Yeah, I'm good.
Awesome.
Okay, awesome.
So do you play video games?
What happened?
Oh, she can't hear me well. Do you play video games?
I used to, and I kind of do now. Yeah, kind of. I wouldn't call myself a gamer though.
Yeah.
I play Xbox, and we have a Sega and a PS3.
Yeah. Well,
so I dabble.
You dabble. Did you play a lot? Did you rekindle playing video games during this pandemic? Everyone locked in their house. Did you get back to it then?
Yeah, well, that's like we went and got a little adapter because I've been wanting to play my Sega forever, but I didn't have the right thing, so we finally found all the pieces, and it's been awesome. But the games I forgot are so hard.
Yes. Well, it's much different now. Like, as I get older in age, I find the games I used to enjoy playing, I'm not good at anymore. My hand-eye coordination, not good. I loved Call of Duty. I loved it. And I just can't play anymore because everyone's faster than me. I'm slower. So I've totally given up. Totally. So.
Oh, don't give up.
That's all right. I'll just go
Never give up.
I'll play Mario with my daughters, and that's the best. I'll dominate them. Mario Kart.
That's awesome.
I'll destroy them.
I've been playing a lot of Mortal Kombat lately.
Oh, excellent. Which one?
Yeah. We were doing. I don't want to get this wrong. Deception.
Okay. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And then I forget the other one. Mortal Kombat 9 or 8.
9, maybe 10. 9. Doesn't matter.
10 maybe.
They're all good. They're all good.
One of those.
What else passed the time during the pandemic? Did you binge watch any TV? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, during all the when Tiger King was big, we binge watched that. We binge watched Dexter.
That's good. That's coming back too.
I watched so many things over the quarantine. I don't even remember anymore. They all kind of blend together in my brain.
Dexter is coming back, which it makes me extremely happy because I didn't like the way
I've been working too because I work at a restaurant, so
nice. Awesome.
I haven't been too trapped up in the house, which is okay.
But that's good because, some people had to, weren't as lucky. Some people had to leave jobs for multitude of reasons. So, speaking of Tiger King, you got a good story. You wrestled at an event where he was the announcer, correct?
Yeah. This was so long ago. It was for NWA Texoma in Texas, and he had some deal with them that they were doing, and he was doing commentary and ring announcing for a show I did, and I didn't realize who it was at the time, and then the whole documentary came out, and I'm like, and things just started kind of going in I'm like, hold on one second, and I found it took me forever, but I found the show that it was on. I was like, oh my god,
that's insane.
The Tiger King.
That is insane. I saw when the Tiger King came out, and I binge watched it as well. You know, like every other normal American, you know, you Google him up, figure out what's going on. He did. Because he had that TV show, that network, and he got involved in wrestling. I think he might have had his own promotion, or he was involved in some sense, and he was doing the announcing. So
I had a few friends actually wrestle at his zoo because he ran a show there, and people actually wrestled there with the tigers in the background.
Oh my!
I didn't get to. I'm kind of jealous.
Right? Put that on your resume. If that would have happened, I would have given you a phenomenal introduction. It would have been like,
dang,
straight out of Tiger King Zoo. What was the name of that zoo? I can't remember it now. Joe. What was his name? Joe Exotic. Joe Exotic. Straight out of Joe Exotic's Emporium. Delilah Doom. I don't know why I used that voice, but it sounded like it would fit. But
perfect.
Let's go back to a young Delilah. In athletic, you played sports growing up.
I did. Yes.
You did. Now, from what I know, you and I, oh man, do I relate well with this? You were very competitive and aggressive, and got kicked out of several basketball games.
How did you? Yeah, I used to play basketball, and I just would attack people and just like I didn't care about. I didn't care, and they would end up tossing me out. I think 2 games. I got they used to throw a flag or whatever, and I had to sit on the sidelines for the rest of the game.
Take a break. But I do like that because I like the aggressive nature, the competitivism. Yeah, that's the right word.
I was never very good though. Let's just put that out there.
Yeah, that we'll edit that right out. I
played for a couple years, but I wasn't very good.
We'll edit that right out in post, and you can be a star. You can be phenomenal. You also were into theater, which I think a lot of we've come to realize this. A lot of people we talk to, theater has some sort of background in high school or wherever. And it fits perfectly. How did theater for you help you with what you're doing now in wrestling?
So like more recently, when I started wrestling, I was doing a lot of improv classes. Yeah, and characters. I think that alone, for anyone that wants to be a wrestler or in the wrestling business, I think it's actually very beneficial. It helps you learn and speak on your feet and think on your feet, and it's helped a lot. Just with, theater has helped with being a character and how to express yourself and facial expressions, and like I said, just being able to think right off the top of your head there, which is, always helps whether during a match or if you're cutting a promo, it's definitely been, having that experience has been an advantage for me. And I miss doing improv. If I could, I definitely would like to get back involved because it's just so much fun just alone. But it, like I said, it helps so much, in this business, I think.
Yes. Because you play different characters, you got to think quickly. I'm sure that helps in all aspects, promos, character development, all that stuff.
Yeah,
for sure. What does China mean to you?
So China was, as a kid, that was who I looked up to as a wrestler. When I first started wrestling, I just remember seeing her on my TV screen and being like, what the heck? Because I've never really seen, a woman built like her and right. kick ass, and not just, kick men's asses, plural.
Lots of men's asses.
So she just inspired me to want to be, a strong, powerful female. So, when she passed, it was hard. It was definitely hard. For the little girl inside me who, someone I looked up to and admired in the wrestling business, and someone who I hope to have, meet one day. But
yeah, for sure. I know Vanessa is a huge China fan as well, and so you two definitely have that in common. Soy Lenser in the chat says the royal plural of ass is what you just said. the Sabotage champion, Delilah Doom. That's right. She's here. You know what? As I'm cutting through my notes and deleting what we've talked about and all this fun, cool stuff, I realized I didn't start out this interview or this conversation the way I wanted to. And I did do a little prep work. And then while I was making dinner, Vanessa sends me a message and says, did you know she has a documentary with Eli? And I was like, oh yeah, I know, they got Doomfly. I know. She goes, yeah, but they have a documentary. And I was like, son of a bitch, because my prep time, I have 3 daughters. My prep time is done. I've already did it. And but I did manage to watch this documentary.
Oh, thank you.
It's on the YouTube channel Wrestle Days, I believe, is the name of the channel. Wrestle Days. I suggest I should have grabbed the link. Vanessa, maybe you can grab the link and post it in chat.
Yep.
It's amazing. It's so good of a documentary that I want to show my wife it, because the story is, since we're getting so close to Valentine's Day, can you tell us the story how you and Eli met and that first encounter?
Like the very first time, or like leading up to it?
All right, let me see. What were okay, so the first encounter, obviously you guys wrestled each other.
Well, we met once before we wrestled each other.
Okay.
So we met a week before our match. I was in LA. I was wrestling for so I have the worst memory. AWS, I believe. And then B-Boy afterwards, like, hey, the guy you're wrestling next week is here. Do you want me to introduce you? And I'm like, yeah, awesome, sure. So we met and we hung out, and he was awesome. And then, but a week later is when we wrestled each other, because we talked for like an hour or two, and then I left and I had to go home, and then I flew back. And so the real meeting was at the show for the match, and we kicked the shit out of each other.
I watched that match,
and we fell in love.
It is an intense match, and it was interesting because you were a champion. It was title versus title. It was the main event. So it was fun, and the documentary was good. And then the other part, so then you flew him to you. I want to say you either flew him up or flew him down. And the part my wife is good. First of all, the chemistry you have with Eli is what my wife will enjoy, because your guys' chemistry comes through the screen. And this is not even in the match. Like I can see your chemistry in the ring, but your chemistry together as a couple comes through the thing. My wife would like that. But the story about how you wrote something on his back is what my wife will enjoy the most, because, and I wish she was down here. Sometimes she comes down here. I believe either my wife did that same thing to me, or I did that to her. Something happened there. But that moment with you and Eli, when you wrote something out, what did you write?
I wrote, "I love you." But he interrupted me.
He did. He cut you off.
As I was telling him, he goes, "I love you too." I was like, "This is my moment."
Yeah, right. We actually got a question in the chat from Spencer Love from Love Wrestling, and he writes, "Delilah, can I ask about your match at the Summit? Your match with Shotzi?"
Okay.
He's been a huge fan ever since. It was ridiculous. The match was ridiculous. So, there. I don't know. You got comments on that?
What do you want to know?
How does it resonate? What was it like wrestling Shotzi, I guess? I don't know. What do you want to know, Spencer?
I mean, Shotzi and I, we had a long feud with Rise, and probably the second person I wrestled the most, next to Ruby Reyes. But I loved working with Shotzi. I mean, I'm so happy for her, but I miss her on the indies over here. I miss wrestling her. She's one of my favorite people to wrestle and step in the ring with. She's just as crazy as I am, and we both are just like, "What do you think about this? Kind of crazy." Like, that's okay. Let's make it even more crazy.
That'll work.
And she's just awesome. And I don't know. I was more heel in that match, which is, strange for me, because I'm not really ever a heel. But Rise, I was with Rosemary, and I was kind of going that direction. So that was also fun, because it was something that I wasn't used to, and I kind of got to play with it and try it out. So it was just a lot of awesome experiences. Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know
here
if you have any more. If you
he's
have
got.
like a
Yep,
specific
he's got the question now. I guess I read too soon. I don't usually read the chat. I'm trying to get better at reading, making it interactive. So he goes, I'll type my question faster. Here it is. Personally, how did it feel to work on the show itself? It was his first chance to go to an all-women show, and the environment was just rad. Yes, all-women show, man. That's exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That was a good show to go to too.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I love that locker room. Like the Rise locker room was always very positive and very empowering. So it was a nice. It was just a bunch of wonderful people to be around for the duration of the show, and just like with Rise in general for those Shimmer weekends, you know, um, everyone's just lifting everybody up, and everyone's so positive. It's a wonderful experience, and I mean, Rise and Sabotage helped me get, to where I am today. I believe they pushed me a lot when I was, brand new, and I'm very thankful for both of those promotions.
You trained with one of my favorite people in the wrestling world. I don't know him. I don't have anything about him, but you trained with one of my favorite, Funaki.
Yes, Funaki.
Right? What's the biggest thing that resonates with you from your training with him?
I always say this when people ask me about Funaki.
Yeah.
He is the most patient person I've ever met. I was training somewhere else before I went to Funaki's dojo, and I just I don't know, I just felt like it was just more for me. The way his teaching style, and I'm a little bit of a slower learner when it comes to things, so he was just always patient, always broke things down how I needed to, took his time showing me things, and I'm really appreciative of that. Yeah. And I miss Funaki. He's awesome.
He does. He is awesome. He truly is very underrated. I didn't even realize, to me, he's Funaki, and I didn't know he had a school. I mean, it makes sense to me. It makes sense that he's a trainer. But to me, he's just Funaki on the Edge and Christian awesome podcast that used to be on the network. I mean, and then his time in the ring, he's just amazing. And now he's passing all that knowledge on, which makes it even more awesome.
Yeah, it's wonderful. He's actually, so he's now working with another school in San Antonio, so they're kind of merged together, and he just seems so happy and just in his element, and it's wonderful. He's a great teacher, great mentor.
Yeah.
So
when I was preparing for this this conversation, I looked up. I found you had some time, had some matches up in the WWE, 2 to be exact, I think, or at least 2 I could find. One on SmackDown versus Carmella, and then one on Raw versus Nia Jax, who's all over the internet these days. Now, you took a extremely hard bump in that match. Like, so hard, I was watching it. And when I saw you get... Okay, let me see if I can describe this for people who haven't seen it.
Okay.
Nia Jax put her on the top rope and then shoved her off. Like, sat her on the top rope and then shoved her. And you hit the apron and fell to the floor. And I saw that, and I copied the link to the video, and I sent it to Vanessa and said, watch it. I don't know where I'm going with this question, but okay, I do know where I'm going. You step inside a ring.
Did it hurt as hard as we thought it did?
Did you hurt your hole?
Did I hurt my hole? My hole. No, I honestly, I don't remember it hurting. I think I was just too, in the moment, and the adrenaline was going. Because honestly, that day, I wasn't even worried about that bump or anything. I was worried about the live promo I had to give in the ring. That's all I was thinking about up until I had to walk through the curtain. That was the only thing I was like, oh my God, I can't mess up. I'll take that bump all day, but put me on live TV, give me a mic. I'm like,
do you know that bump is
the lines?
Do you know that bump is coming? Like, is that? Do you know that bump is coming? Was that talked about? Like, hey, I'm gonna shove you right off this top rope.
Yes. So, we were going over the match, and I think it was Fit Finley.
Okay.
Was like, hey, how do you feel about being pushed off the top rope? And in my head, I'm thinking like into the ring type thing, like Ric Flair type bump. I'm like, I've done that before. No, I got you. I'll do it. And like, okay, well, do you want to try it real quick? Like, we'll get the crash pads out. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just yeah, sure, if you guys want me to try it. And then the way they put the crash pad on the outside of the ring, leaning up against the apron, I'm like, oh, okay. And so like, we did a run through on the crash pads, which was fine. And I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great, you guys. And then I turned to Nye and I was like, don't tell them I've never done this before. But we did it, and it was fine, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it came off. It came off to me when I watched it like that was all improvised. Like Nia did that on her own, and so that's interesting to know. So you step inside a WWE ring. What was it like? What did it feel like? Did you feel like you were at home? Is that the place Delilah Doom should be?
I mean, so that was my first time doing a match for WWE. I like on TV. I did extra work. I don't know, maybe like a year or some months before that, where we had like tryout matches before the show and stuff. Yep. So stepping into the ring this time, I felt more confident. Like, okay, I've been here before. This is awesome, and it's. I was nervous, but yeah, I was like, no, this is what I do, and this is so cool, and I wish I could do more right now for them, but whatever they need, I'm here.
For sure, definitely. Now, something that I took away from the documentary as well, with you and Eli was intergender wrestling. You guys, first of all, what Eli said, finding a tag team partner that you gel so well with is like finding a spouse, just related so well. And he said, I would rather tag with her than wrestle singles. So you guys are definitely into intergender wrestling. That's a thing. Like you loved it. Intergender, not only wrestling, but intergender tag wrestling.
Yeah.
Like what do you say to people that, there's people out there that say they can't suspend their belief. It's beyond the realm of possibility to see somebody like Delilah Doom suplex a Brian Cage, for example.
I love that match, by the way. That's one of my favorites.
It's great, right?
Oh, no, hold on. I lost sound. Hold on. Uh-oh. Me now?
Yeah, hold on. We have a tech guy. Hold on. He'll hold on a second. Richard, can you see if she's here?
Hi.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, that's our friend Richard.
Hi, Richard.
My name is Cheryl. I believe I am your daughter.
No, you're not, Richard. Be quiet.
Okay. All right, I can hear you. Yay.
I wanted to find a way to crowbar in a Richard Simmons sound drops because I know.
Oh, hold on. Here, we'll have him join us.
I know how much of a Richard Simmons fan you are, so I spent all day creating all these sounds for you.
Oh.
Let's get physical.
Wait, this one's better. Wait, no, that might be a bad one.
Let's get physical.
Yes. Let's get physical.
Well, hello.
And what I was gonna do, here's what I was gonna do, Delilah. I'll pull the curtain back, as they say. I was gonna pretend like I had somebody on the line, because we do have the ability to have people like call in. I was gonna pretend I had someone on the line and I was gonna just start hitting these Richard sound drops. I was gonna be like,
Hi.
and then, but I couldn't find the ones I wanted to do, and then I didn't get enough time to arrange them. I was gonna have you have a
But
conversation.
I would have been so heartbroken because I'm like, wait, he got Richard?
Yeah, I heard you want to meet Richard Simmons. Here's the thing: I don't think nobody knows where he is right now.
He's at his house.
Well,
he's just hanging out.
Just chilling. he's just
I
chilling.
know this because he's my best friend, you know? We're best friends.
He's getting physical.
I am here for you.
Oh, okay. He is here for you. It's only funny to
Thanks,
me.
Richard. Okay, sorry. All right.
What
sorry,
were we?
before
What
my sound
were we?
went out.
What were we talking
intergender
about?
wrestling,
Intergender
yes.
wrestling. That's right.
I mean, I understand that, there's wrestling for everybody. And if you don't like one type, that's fine because there's other genres for you. And I don't know. I still have the energy to fight with people that
Yeah.
want to look down on it. Most of my matches, I'm pretty sure the majority of my matches have been intergender. I really don't like that term either. It's just wrestling.
Right. Exactly. I don't like that term either. To tell you the truth.
Yeah, it's just wrestling. I want to wrestle the best, and whoever that may be, and I enjoy stepping into the ring with anybody. And I don't know. If you don't like intergender wrestling, or it's cool.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's something for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I guess you're right. You don't have to like it. It's different, and I mean that in a good way. It's new. Like when I was growing up watching wrestling, you wouldn't have that per se, and then China came along, and then you did. And I think it can happen. It does happen. It is happening. And yeah, it's the same thing with comedic wrestling. People have a problem with that, with comedic wrestling, I guess, and that's a term I don't even like now either. And because to me, and I'll let you comment on this, to me, wrestling is like art, and one person can like one thing and not another. And that's just the way it is. It's all under the umbrella of art, and there's different greatness of art, and that's how I look at it.
Yes.
And I've never stepped between the ropes, and that's how I see it. But it annoys me when people put down certain anything. But since this is a wrestling talk show, I'll use wrestling.
Yeah.
When people put down wrestling, because I don't like that, because they're ruining the business. It's too comedic. It's destroying the integrity, and that doesn't compute with me. But my mom always told me I can't get mad for people not thinking like me. So leads to problems.
It's just, people, there's just so much out there for everybody, and times have changed, and people just need to either get, keep moving along with the changes, or they're gonna get left behind, and then they're gonna be like, what the heck's going on? It's like wrestling's moving forward, and there's so many different things that never used to be. It's different times, and new people, and the younger generation coming up and taking over and morphing it and changing it to what suits every individual, or if that makes any sense.
Makes total sense. You know what else I was just thinking as you were talking? Your character, Delilah Doom, definitely the Richard Simmons type, 80s, leg warmers, jazzercise. Your hair right now, you look like a character from the movie Heathers.
I love that movie.
I'm thinking, my wife would just be marking out right now because of not only the way you look, but the fact that you're a big fan of JEM. Not only JEM, but JEM and the Misfits. Huge fan of them. How much does obviously the 80s pop culture has so much to do with your character.
I've always just loved everything about, well, not everything, but most of the things about the 80s, but the colors, the cartoons, like all the pop culture, music, the trends. When I started training, I was wearing leg warmers to training every day because it was just part of my look. And someone said, you should, do like an 80s gimmick. And I was like, well, yeah, I should. It just made sense to me. And You know, it's me. It really is me. I really love Richard Simmons. Like, I absolutely love Richard Simmons.
Yes, I do too.
That's real.
Yeah, I do too. And I used to use his sound drops all the time on this. Before I did this, before I did Putting You Over, which is what you see now, before I did this, you know, I used to stream on Twitch and I played video games and I did some other stuff. But I would use Richard Simmons sound drops all the time. I would have conversations with him. And the soundboard I used to use is no longer out there on the internet, which makes me upset. But
makes me sad.
it would have been a lot of fun. It would have been a lot of fun. It was so good. He still showed up. He still showed up.
Please.
Well, relax, Richard. Sometimes when I'm too loud, Richard will chime in.
Play it!
Play it! Dang, I need to get these sound bites for myself.
Yeah. When you got no time on your hands, just, you know, sit down and collect them all. But
gotta collect them all.
Gotta get them all. Where was I gonna go? 80s pop culture, and I have 2 movies written down. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not even sure they were in the 80s. They must have been in the 80s because I watched them growing up, and they weren't in the early 90s, so they must have been in the 80s. I have The Goonies and Back to the Future written down.
Both very, very good movies, both classics. Love them both.
Now, what I want your opinion on is,
oh no,
would you ever want to see a remake or a reboot of either one of those movies?
You know, yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, they'll always be classics, but we have so much more technology these days.
I agree.
And just, I don't know.
I agree. I was against it at first. I was against it.
Here's
Go ahead.
my thing though. If they remake Goonies, it has to still be like, I don't want to see them like staring at an iPad, like on a map, trying to look for stuff.
You're right. I didn't think about that. Dang.
I think the cliche thing to throw around these days is the forbidden door. I think the forbidden door has been busted wide open with Cobra Kai, and I think that I could see like a Back to the Future series or a Goonies series maybe on Netflix, and I could see it now. I was against it before. I don't want to see a remake of a movie that I don't want to see. What is this, Spider-Man? Or they remake them all? That I don't want to know. Bama Dave says yes to the Goonies, heck no to Back to the Future. Back to the Future was 1985. Both 80s movies.
Right. Yeah, you know what, Vanessa, now that you say that, that's a good point. And so I don't know, a mini series, like you said. I think I could get down with that. But I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, I'm gonna watch it. If it comes out, I'll totally go see it. There
was a couple nights ago, me, my daughters, my wife, we all sat down to watch a movie. And we tried to pick one out we haven't seen before. We picked it out, and I can't remember the name of it. But well, first of all, I wanted to watch Black Panther because I'm going cinematically in the Marvel order, and that's the one I was on, and I wanted to watch it. But they said no, and we picked something out. We picked this movie out, and we watched the trailer first. And we start watching the trailer, and the trailer started. It seemed like the premise of the Goonies. It was like these kids, couple kids, something about treasure, something about their house was going to be for sale or get sold. And I'm turning to my wife and I was like, I couldn't watch the Black Panther. Or no, I actually said, let's watch the Goonies. That's what I said. Oh man, my wife would have been perfect for tonight's show. So we're watching the trailer and I'm like, I can't watch the Goonies, but this thing is just like the Goonies. And then in the trailer, the character holds up this coin or this rock and holds it out and everything lines up in the rock. And I just look at her like, seriously? So there's Goonie themed movies out there.
The Goonie theme. I like that.
The Goonie themed movies.
The theme. I wonder what it was. Now I'm gonna be curious.
It's gonna bother me too because I don't want to say it was on Netflix because we started our movie search on Amazon Prime. I think we didn't find anything there. I think we went to Netflix. I will find out the name of that movie and let you know. I was really annoyed. I don't even remember. Oh, we ended up okay. So my 4-year-old decided to watch Toy Story. They said I could watch Black Panther. They said no to Goonies, no to the one that looked like Goonies, yes to the Black Panther. We started watching it. My 4-year-old just stands up and says, "I want to watch Toy Story 2, no 1," and you know. She's the youngest, so she gets
Toy Story 1.
she gets what she wants. Toy Story 1 it is. So yeah.
That's a classic too. I do love Toy Story series. Like that whole franchise is great.
Very good. Yeah, Disney Plus is huge in my house. Huge. For sure. Yeah. So anyways, Delilah, we're Delilah. I love the name. First of all, my oldest daughter's name is Lila. And
oh, it's pretty.
We used to say we would say Delilah sometimes just like as like a prefix to it just for fun. We would call her Delilah or Lila Girl, all different things. So I'm like looking up Delilah. It's always fun. But anyways, what do you have going on? Like what's coming up for you? You got anything to promote?
Not much. Unfortunately, out here in Cali, we're still shut down.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So.
That sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. Just been training and, getting stuff together for when things go back to normal, if they do, or if things start opening up more. I've just been doing a lot of character stuff. I'm writing. Well, I started writing like a little script. I want to make a little short movie about the origins of Delilah Doom. So,
excellent.
That's fun.
That is fun.
Yeah.
To me, that seems like it needs to be animated. I don't know why. I just picture animation. I know I just.
If I knew how to do that.
I know I just made your project much harder and more expensive, but I see it as animated.
Dang.
That's just me.
Any animators out there, let me know.
No.
I have the idea.
We have the concept. Can we sell the concept?
It's got a little of Back to the Future feel, a little Mortal Kombat feel. Lots of Richard Simmons.
He'd be your sidekick.
Something like that.
Something. Yes.
I'm just really excited. I hope it comes to life because it would just I would like to be able to tell the world Delilah Doom, like why is she here? Like why is she wrestling? Why is she from the 80s? So that would be kind of answer some questions that have never been answered before.
Why is she from
character
the 80s?
Wise?
Why is she character-wise? Why is she from the 80s?
Can't tell you guys though. Gotta wait.
I'm trying to get the spoilers. I'm gonna sell them.
Inside scoop.
Inside the hot take.
Scoop.
How's Eli doing?
He's good. He's in there actually. He's actually wrestling tomorrow.
Is he?
No.
Yeah.
What's today? Today's Thursday. He's wrestling Saturday, and he'll be at the Collective Mania weekend. So that's awesome. Very proud of him.
Excellent.
But yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
I don't know. Life over here, because like I said, California's still kind of we're kind of lagging. So him and I are just, we've been training, and he's been reading a lot of Star Wars comics. That's his thing.
Oh, I even have art. You probably can't see because I try to put this cool lighting on. Well, R2D2 is right here, and Chewbacca is back here.
Awesome.
At the bar, and you really can't see it at all. But underneath this TV right here is a NBA Jam cabinet, and underneath and Yoda is playing it. So all the Star Wars, they're all here because I know you're a big Star Wars fan. You got some Star Wars.
There we go.
Yeah. Got some Star Wars tattoos, and I saw an amazing tweet recently. Oh shit! Someone said it. If you could only survive, if you're on an island and only your tat. Go ahead.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Go ahead. What is it?
No, people are saying if you were going to battle, the one I retweeted one. If you were going to battle, you could only use like 3 of your tattoos. Would you survive? I was like,
Yeah.
I'm golden.
Yeah,
I got this baby right here.
You had Darth Vader, I think, a lightsaber, and I can't remember what else. But yes, I knew you were a huge Star Wars fan. Did you watch The Mandalorian? Obviously, right? That's a stupid question. Yes.
I did. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
We watched. Well, Eli watched it a few times. I watched the last episode. I think a total of like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
They're very epic. I won't give any spoilers, just in case, even though everyone.
Well,
that's
that's the thing these days. Like, because you can binge watch everything, you actually have to wait longer, on the spoiler rule. Like, if it was out in the movies, like 2 weeks, a month, if you hadn't seen it, you can get spoiled by it. But now that it's streaming and you can watch it at any time, it's almost like you can't spoil it for anyone. Almost ruins spoilers.
Yeah.
So
I don't like to give spoilers.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't. So we won't spoil it. We won't let anybody know.
Just in case.
What happens?
Just in case.
Are you a Marvel fan?
No, sorry, I'm not a Marvel fan.
That's fine. I only asked because I am, and I'm so excited for WandaVision tomorrow. Like, I can't go to bed fast enough to watch it on Disney Plus.
See, Eli started watching WandaVision, and I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard about WandaVision, I thought it had to do with the Fairly Odd Parents.
Yes.
And I was kind of sad to learn that it wasn't.
Was it?
But he's been enjoying it, and I've watched an episode in the background, but I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
It looks awesome. I would not be against sitting down and catching up, but yeah, Eli's been on the WandaVision, and I heard it's really good.
It is. My wife doesn't pay any attention to any of that stuff, and she enjoys the show when I have it on, and she doesn't know any of the backstory. So it is a good story wise, but if you fall down the rabbit hole like I have, then you have to watch them all and fun stuff. But yeah, Disney Plus, we mask as our child's streaming service, but really it's just ours.
It's for the adults.
But anyways, Vanessa, do you have any comments, questions, concerns as we wrap up here?
No, like, honestly, like, so we've been doing, like, I joined Streamer back in the summer, and we were looking, I can't remember who I was looking, like Thunder Rosa or Baby D, and that was where I found you, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need this girl on our show tomorrow. Like, and then, like, you create lists and you start messaging people, and then everything happens. And I was like, oh, and then, like, every time, like, you pop up on my YouTube, because I've watched so many videos, and I'm like, oh, another match. So I'll watch it. And I'm like, oh, this girl's just phenomenal. And I'm like, oh, I was like, how is she not signed? And all of this, like, all these things just run through my brain. And then, and I was like, it won't be long. Like I was saying to my husband tonight, I was like, man, it won't be long. Like, she will be signed, because she's got the look, she's got the character, and everything. It's there. Like, she just has it. She just needs someone to call her. And I'm like, someone call her. Somebody.
You just made my day. Thank you so much. That's so sweet. Thank you.
Oh man, we didn't even touch on her teaming with Leva Bates, another big fan of mine. Or not? She's not a big fan of mine. I'm a big fan of hers.
T4.
Yeah, for sure.
Totally
I just want to piggyback off of Vanessa for a minute and let you, Delilah, know. Let you behind the curtain on me and Vanessa's conversation this morning. So,
oh God,
8 o'clock in the morning. Vanessa sends me a message. Good morning. I write good morning back. Then I write, Delilah is awesome. And she writes nice. And then she writes, I need to see more of her matches. Blah blah blah. Look up more of her matches. And I just, somewhere along the line in our conversation throughout the day, I just said, I think this is going to be my favorite show ever on Putting You Over. Because, and yeah, like, we could talk wrestling, we could talk your training, we could talk your matches, we could talk that stuff all day long. But that didn't intrigue me. Your 80s pop culture, your character, all that stuff intrigued me. Your love for Richard Simmons intrigued me. You starred in AP Bio, which was done because of Nick Nemeth helped you get that, And I was
How
like,
do you know all these things?
I know everything. And then I watched the documentary and I'm like, this is a love story. Like, this is a love story. This is gonna be my favorite interview. I will not be able to let her go. Yeah, it's great, man. Like, yeah. So right before the pandemic, you started an AP Bio.
Yeah, that was like right before too.
That's awesome because I am a big mark for any wrestling that's in any sitcoms, like Boy Meets World. I think Vader was in Boy Meets World. Anything like that.
There's a whole bunch too. There's a lot.
Yeah, I'm a big mark for that. I love that stuff.
I love AP Bio, and so when I got asked to, I was like, oh my god, yes! I love that show, and it was so cool.
That's
but we weren't even supposed to wrestle. Like Kat and I, we were just supposed to do like she wins and that's it, with no moves or anything. And then I forget, the producer was like, hey, can you guys do you guys mind doing like a move? And we're like,
hell yeah,
sure,
we'll do it.
We got you.
Yeah, and then that led me down the road of, oh shit, she acted in there. Man, she would have been perfect for Glow. She's got everything. She is Glow on Netflix.
I wish.
And then, son of a bitch, that goddamn show. Screw you now.
Got canceled, or they ended it, right? They just kind of.
They weren't bringing them back. Netflix was not bringing them back, and hopefully something happens. Hopefully, they bring it back for like maybe a movie, or, the way the world is now, anybody could bring it back and pick it up, but the story needs to be finished, and that's the problem.
I love the Glow, the reboot, and then it was funny. We were watching. Eli and I had the Pluto TV app.
Yep. I just saw it too on IWTV, right?
Yeah.
On Pluto. Yeah, I just saw it.
So we
too.
watched. Glow came on last night.
Yeah.
And because Eli has never seen the original Glow, so I was like, oh my god. So an episode was on. He's like, oh wow, this is awesome. It's just so campy and I'm like, I want to do like a little 80s wrestling show just like this, with like the girls while the match is going on, they're cutting their promo and the pink square, and they're like back to the match.
Oh, for sure. Yes, Ryan Romano in the chat says Delilah Doom was on AP Bio. No way. Yes, she was.
Yeah,
she was.
Dave Scooby had mentioned Championship Wrestling of Hollywood for the tournament for the new women's title. Words are hard right now. Sorry.
They have a tournament for. I'm reading the chat too. Oh, I would love to go championship. They reached out to me right before they shut back down, so I'm hoping once they get back rolling again, fingers crossed, maybe we'll see Delilah Doom. Hopefully, that'd be awesome.
Your name is it gets me too, because it's like Delilah so happy, and then Doom is like so down, and I'm like, and she's bubbly. I'm like, I'm so confused.
A lot of people don't like that, and I think it's hilarious.
No, I love it. I'm not saying I don't love it, but I'm like, when I first saw the name, when I was scrolling through, I was like, oh, okay, Delilah Doom. Whenever you hear the name Doom, you think of down and gritty and dirty, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then you come out and you're bubbly and you're checking your pulse, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I completely understand this, and I was marking so hard.
Thank you. I just love it because people they're expecting this big meanie, and then I come out and I'm like, gotcha.
Let's get physical. Yeah, but she said she had that little run with Rosemary. Could you see an evil gem, like a dark side gem? That's
right? I had sick gear too when I was with Rosemary. I really liked that gear.
Yeah.
I had black. It looked like black gunk kind of coming down and taking over me.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to show my wife this. My wife doesn't watch my show, but I think she would really enjoy yours. Your episode, your spot.
Tell her I say hi. Hi.
She I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the girls are doing.
Normally they're down by now.
Well, here's the fun fact: the youngest one fell asleep because she threw a massive tantrum because I would not let her watch Sophia the First again. So she threw a fit. She threw a tantrum. Stormed up into her room. She's 4, Delilah. She's 4. She stormed up in her room. Got awfully quiet up there. About 7:30, I went up. She's passed out on her bed. the other two, one had gymnastics tonight. She came back. They when I left them, they were watching the second Twilight movie because my oldest daughter is reading the books. Finished the second book. She wanted to watch the movie, so that's what they were doing. But yes, they are usually here. They usually make an appearance.
Oh,
because they know you're
live.
Yeah, they know you're. They know Daddy's live. They think it's funny to come down here, and
kind of photobomb. Hey,
yeah,
hey.
they think it's funny. But anyways, Delilah, I feel like we could just do this all night long, but I will let you go. We will leave the forbidden door open for you or Eli to come back whenever you guys want.
I would love to do one with like the two of us. If y'all ever, if anyone wants that.
Hell yeah, I do.
Okay, so like, pull the curtain back again. I have like a list, and like I've taken pictures of this list and sent it to Streamer. It's like a never-ending list. It's so long of people to message.
It gets longer
and
every
I
day.
did not know that. Like, shame on me. But like when I was messaging, I was not aware that you two were a tag team until I read later, and I was like, oh, missed opportunity.
Yeah.
But
hey,
the list is there. His name is there.
It should be like a trilogy. It should be like a movie. So like Delilah, then we have Eli, then we have Doomfly. It should be a trilogy, I think.
Oh,
I love it. I can see it now, you guys. You just let us know.
Yeah, for sure. We don't have doors on this show. There's no forbidden door here. But anyways, what I try to do at the end of every show is I'm going to give the mic to you. You can put over anything you want. You can plug anything. You can. I don't really care what you do, but the floor is yours to let us know about whatever you want.
Oh, okay. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for everyone tuning in. I mean, I don't have shows to plug right now, unfortunately, but if you don't follow me, you can find me on Instagram at Delilah_Doom, but the O's are zeros, or on Twitter, which is Delilah Doom, but spelt regularly. And then I have a water maneuver store if you want some shirts, or a pro wrestling tee store. I actually do have something really awesome in the works that should be ready hopefully in the next few months. Look for something cool called the Doom Room website. It should be available soon. That's the only inside scoop I'll give. But I don't know. I just appreciate everybody, and thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime. Me and Vanessa, you come by anytime. Just let us know.
I'm so awkward. I don't know what to say.
You're fine. Awkwardness is encouraged on this show.
All right.
Have yourself a wonderful night. Tell Eli I said thank you and hi, and we'll be in touch with him soon. And well, yeah. Have a great night.
Thank you all so much. Have a great night.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
She's got a Richard Simmons doll. It's great. Well done.